Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to the Nexus. In today's video, we're going to be taking another look at Blaze. Now, the consensus from the community seems to be Blaze is fun, Blaze has a good kit, but he seems to be a little bit under-tuned. He doesn't quite deal enough damage, doesn't quite have enough sustain. I don't know how people actually feel like he's under-tuned, but it just kind of seems like there's a little bit of oomph missing from the character. I have been not only playing him in this past week, but playing with my friends that have been playing him, and Horse Pants every now and then he just catches me off guard with one of his builds, has been using the bunker drop to great avail. This is something that I completely cast aside at the beginning. I was like, this is dumb, it seems really gimmicky, why would I use this? It's because exiting the bunker grants 25 armor for 2 seconds, and the bunker lasts for 10 seconds. So you can hop in and out of the bunker while you're still at high health to kind of extend how far your health bar can actually go. And with the built-in armor, or excuse me, the built-in healing that Blaze has in his kit already, that could actually stretch a pretty long way. So in today's video, we're going to try to do a build that focuses on that bunker, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I hate that I have to promote this at the beginning of the video, but if you enjoy my videos, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of everything I upload here on the channel. Okay, let's go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on the battlefield of eternity today. The friendly team, Blaze, Leeming, Nazi, that wasn't bad. Maybe I'm getting it back. Vala and Murden, the enemy team, Murky Illidan, Tyrell, Diva, and Hanzo. Actually, this is going to be a hard game, actually. Good luck, have fun. At level 1, we are going to go for, I believe the cooldown reduction is what we're going to be looking at today, just so we can throw our skills a little bit more often. This is called Neural Stimpack on a 40-second cooldown. Activate to gain 50 mana and cause ability cooldowns to recharge 100% faster for 5 seconds. I do feel as though the character kind of feels limited if he doesn't have oil ready to go, and this build is going to be more focused on using the oil as an actual form of crowd control rather than what we were doing in the last video, which was just trying to throw oil out all over the place to deal damage. So we won't necessarily be igniting every piece of oil here. We're mostly going to be throwing it out as an actual deterrent for the enemy team. And I suppose I should use this relatively often, so let's go ahead and try to hinder the escape of the enemy team here. Maybe stun this Tyrael, charging forward with our E ability, and hitting it with our Q to secure that kill. Hopefully Murden will be able to get out of there. Doesn't look like he is able to. So if you have not seen Blaze before, he is the newest warrior to enter the Nexus, and a pretty fun character at that, to be totally honest with you. I do enjoy his playstyle quite a bit. I do agree with a lot of people that I've talked to about him just not quite feeling there, like he needs a little bit of tuning, especially when you compare him to the changes that we're seeing in Tyrael that just came out, where he kind of has 25 armor all the time in the late game. Granted, they're different characters and they should operate differently, but he still seems pretty strong, boys. He still seems pretty strong. He just needs a little bit of love. Our Q ability is called the Flame Stream. This shoots 2 projectiles of flame, one from the left arm, one from the right arm at our adversaries. If it hits the oil that we're laying down, which is our W ability, it will ignite that oil and deal damage over time. Now, if that oil is not ignited, it's going to be a 40% slow to any enemy that's currently standing inside of it. Which means it has 2 phases, basically. One phase where it's a crowd control, and one phase where you're using it to actually deal damage to your enemy combatants. And deciding when to use which phase is actually a pretty important skill set for Blaze to know how to do. And it really does depend on your build a lot. I mean, I used to go, well, in the previous video, I still go for it. I still think it's a good talent. But I used to go for oil spill slows but ignited, so I could just light these all the time and still get the benefit. But we're actually going to increase the area of the slow and the slowing effect by 10% right now. So that's a 50% slow to anyone that's sitting in the oil. So if we ever want to engage on something, we should be able to do that fairly easily. Or at least that's the plan. Hi. We actually might be able to take this down before the enemy team really responds, especially if Hanzo's just going to be AFK like that. We can cut off their escape by just laying some oil down behind them as well, and maybe force this Tyrael to use his gap closer in order to disengage. So it looks like we are going to be taking the fort down in the bottom lane, and I'm just going to keep throwing oil out here to kind of hinder the minions from moving up and hopefully take down this building. Looks like the friendly team is backing up because they need some mana, but I'm going to stay until this thing is dead. So the objective is coming up, and we need to make our way over there right now. I'll grab this globe from Murden. Even though he's Murden, he probably doesn't need it. Our E ability is a charge forward. We'll stop once we hit the first enemy hero. And after we hit that enemy hero, it is going to be a stun on that target. Once again, throwing down the slow, trying to mitigate where this Illidan can go, and we'll try to charge in and finish him off. It looks like he walked right into the immortal stun, and that is going to finish off that Illidan there. We don't have our activatable ability, but we do have our trait that's on a 90-second cooldown that allows us to gain quite a bit of armor as well. So I'm going to go ahead and charge in here. Stunning them in place, not the best stun in the world because of course she was already nuking. And when I can re-engage, we're going to throw down the trait and try to mitigate as much damage here as possible. Let's go ahead and pop my cooldown reduction and try to just poke at these guys to the best of our ability. Looks like we're actually shoving them back pretty well. I'll go ahead and slow them down. Now, an important mechanic of Blaze is his self-healing. Now, I have not been igniting these oils very much, but if I do light these oils on fire, I could stand in that oil slick and heal my character up, which, of course, is pretty strong. It's pretty strong, boys. Let's try to peel for this Li Ming. Not going to be able to charge in time, but hopefully we deterred this guy enough. Looks like we were able to take him down. Now, this enemy team way ahead on this immortal race. It looks like they are going to finish it off before we can, at least at this rate. We are going to go for Grill and Krill at level 7. Let's try to stun here and slow this path so she can't get by. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Increases the ignited oil spill damage and duration. Now again, we're not always, oh, we actually won, right? Oh my God. I actually wasn't expecting that at all. So this will make it so our oil lasts longer on the ground after we ignite, increases oil spill's ignite duration by 2 seconds. So if we are able to get that going, it will be able to deal more damage to our adversaries. But that's more of a secondary thought. We're really just trying to hinder their movement with this thing. But now that we're in the solo lane, we can definitely clear with this. I'm gonna go ahead and pop my cooldown reduction just to get a little bit of mana back as my team is pushing the top lane. Now this enemy team is capable of dealing a pretty devastating, oh, she's dancing. I'll give you a spin. Look how slow she is. Look how fucking slow she is. She can't do anything when she's in this stuff. Here, let's go ahead and try to get some damage off on this diva. She kind of has to push into me here, right? We can actually connect these oils as well to keep the fire going in a wider area, if you wanted to. If you were looking for the most efficiency here. Now, I'm definitely not going to be able to beat this diva in lane, but I could definitely sustain through this diva in lane. She shouldn't be able to do enough damage to me to actually matter. Let's put it that way. The friendly team is taking camps up in the top. We are 2 levels ahead right now. The enemy team just barely hitting level 8 as we're hitting level 10. I am going to back up. We do see Tyrael kind of down in the bottom lane there. We do need to be careful, of course. I kind of thought the Illidan would be a little bit more of a threat, but Murden and myself are actually doing a pretty good job of chasing him down whenever he decides to engage. Of course, once Murky has the Octo Grab, that may change up things quite a bit. So here we go. We're going for the bunker drop. And the bunker drop only has a 40-second cooldown, so really, I feel like I could use it whenever I want to. The problem with the bunker drop is that not a lot of fire bats take it, not a lot of blazes take it. So you'll notice that a lot of heroes will just kind of sit in it and expect this to be the final form. But see this armor that we're getting? We're just hopping in and out of this thing, trying to keep this armor buff going. So when the enemy team does engage, we have 25% damage mitigation, and we could trade with them a little bit easier. And this is something that our whole team can use. This is something that our whole team can jump in and out to not only avoid skill shots, but also mitigate more damage. It does give it to allies, right? Yeah, it does. So, here, let's slow these guys down here. We might have to use the bunker just to ward off this Illidan. I'm going in for the double stun. We're gonna try to hit him with some flames too. Oil down, stopping them from leaving. Hopefully we get some damage follow up here. Actually, I'm pretty happy with that engagement. I think that went pretty well. We did waste the Gargantuan a little bit. I don't think it got any value there, but that's okay. And again, we're going to get in position on this Immortal, and right when we think the enemy team might be jumping in to deal some hefty damage, we're going to set ourselves up for success by dropping this bunker, attacking a little bit with it, hopping out of the bunker, using the armor, and then hopping right back in. Now, you'll notice that people just kind of sit in this thing. So, oh, well, we missed that stun real bad. So, I mean, don't be too surprised if you don't get a ton of value out of it. Also, you need to be really worried about the wombo combo potential that the bunker could have for the enemy team. For instance, here, let's try to stun Tyrael before he can... For instance, if the enemy team has a Malfurion, he can just set roots up underneath that. If your team sits in it the whole time. If the enemy team has a Zeratul, you could be looking at some pretty devastating Void Prison wombo combo setup. If they have a Chromie, basically, you can avoid this entire problem by not just sitting in the bunker, like hopping in and out of the bunker. You can pick the trajectory that you leave before you hop out by right-clicking and then hitting R to kind of jump out. So as long as you don't sit in it until the duration's totally done and you surprise people with your movement, a lot of that problem's alleviated. But I've noticed most people just kind of sit in the bunker. Maybe with time that'll change. Oh, we have a hunt going down in the top lane on Nazeebo. He is going to be taken down. There was a 3-man gank on him, but his Gargantuan actually picking up a kill on that same Illidan. Is that what happened? Illidan's dead right now. He's pretty dead right now. We are progressing into the enemy team's spawn, however. March of the Murlocs is being used. Let's just try to deal some damage to the enemy team with our oil. We are going to go for Fuel Leak. Jet Propulsion creates a trail of oil. This is yet a... Here, I'll put the bunker down for him. It was a little late, though. That was my fault. I was looking at my talents. This does leave a trail of oil as we charge forward, which is more crowd control, of course. We could try to cut off the enemy team's movement. I'm going to go ahead and pop my cooldown reduction and try to just sit in my trait here and heal. We do not have... Oh, I was trying to stun into the Tyrael. I guess it worked. All right, we're backing up, team. We're backing up. We'll give her some oil there. Of course, it's an Illidan, so it probably doesn't matter too much. And I'll try to just body block anything that this Tyrael could do to her. Let's dive forward, create some oil, and it looks like we are going to get away. Holy shit. Holy shit, that was terrifying. Now, technically, I don't have to leave. I'll just stand here just in case there's any more projectiles. I could just kind of hang out. We have Sippy Cup. We're fine. We have that sustain. I'll let him know that I'll be right there. So with that objective, we did take the bottom keep away from the enemy team. Also, I realized that my quest progression here is abysmal. I realize that. Let's just ignore that for right now. Let's just ignore that, okay? This video was more focused on the bunker anyway, let's be honest. I honestly haven't been dueling heroes that much, and while my oil has been down, it's been definitely more of an effort to try to hinder their movement more than anything. So let's lay a little bit more oil down. Maybe we trade versus this Illidan with the bunker just a little bit. Go ahead and pop our trait. We have the armor bonus still. We can go back and get the armor bonus again. Now, I don't know if that actually stacks with your trait. So if you hop out, can you have 50 armor if you pop your trait? I'm not too sure. We are being chased a little bit here. I want to give Muradin a way out, so let's throw some oil down. Pop my cooldown reduction, just in case we need to throw more oil down, but it doesn't look like the enemy team will be chasing into that. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, we're actually getting a ton of value. The Gargantuan, both mercenary camps, all doing work up here, and we have a bunker yet again. So while this March of the Murlocs is coming out, if anyone needed the help, if anyone's taking too much damage, we have the bunker here to protect them from the Murlocs. We are going to go for thermal projection here. Each enemy hit by jet propulsion grants 10 armor and cooldown reduction on our charge, which means we can use this more often to not only stun more enemy heroes, but spread our oil around more for more crowd control and more igniting potential. It does look like Tyrael is going to be diving in. He used all of his escapes here for this kill, and it didn't work out for him too well, did it? Now, I potentially could have put a bunker down to keep our allies alive there as well, but it looks like they're not going to need it. I'm just going to posture as if I am not afraid of this Hanzo at all, because spoiler alert, I'm not too afraid of the Hanzo. We do need to decide if we're gonna stay or if we're gonna leave, and it looks like the team is slowly disengaging. For justified reasons, of course, we'll go ahead and cut off that Illidan's retreat there. Try to slow down this Hanzo as well. That 50% slow, man, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Slowing down D.Va. If she was trying to get into her mech there, all we had to do was charge into her, and we would have been able to interrupt that. And that is basically the mentality of the bunker drop Blaze. Not necessarily using it and just sitting in it to deal damage, but using it for that defensive bonuses so you can jump out and continue to fight, and giving your team kind of an escape from environmental damage like March of the Murlocs or something like that. I have to say, I had zero faith in that ability when I was looking at it in theory crafting, but as always, someone made me a believer. I do think it has potential. I also think it has a lot of ways to be countered. Like I was talking about with setting up your whole team to get hit by a wombo combo, you need to be really, really careful about that. But if you want to follow along at home, here are the talents that we use today. Neural Stim Pack into Oil Dispersal, Grill, and Kill. Again, I got basically no value out of this talent whatsoever. We could have gone for anything else and it would have worked out more. I was using my oil as more of like a crowd control rather than a way to deal damage. So take that as you will. The bunker drop, I think we got a pretty decent amount of value out of the bunker drop, to be totally honest. Fuel leak and thermal protection. At level 20, I would have likely gone for... That doesn't do anything, so we would have gone for burn notice. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Remember, if you enjoyed today's video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified whenever I upload any content here on this channel. We do upload a variety of stuff, but to most of my loyal subscriber base, only the Heroes content goes out to them. Feels bad, man. We'll be back very soon in the Nexus. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.